This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design. Kiwi is the leader in Oculus Quest and VR accessories. And now, you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast.
The Oculus Quest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever find things could be a bit more comfortable, maybe a little safer? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and so much more.
And let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. You don't want to be that guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes now to prepare yourself today.
And you don't need to sacrifice comfort for cost either. Kiwi is constantly running promotions of 20, 25, and even 30% off.
Just visit the link in our show notes and use the promo code on their website to take full advantage of your savings. And be sure to follow the link in our show notes so we get credit and you help support the podcast. And remember, Kiwi has you covered for all your VR needs. This podcast is brought to you today by Zencastr, the company we choose to use for our interviews.
I remember that first interview we had and the stress that we went through trying to find a platform that we were going to host this on.
That's where Zencastr came in. With HD video recording and studio sound quality, we were able to connect seamlessly with guests all over the world.
I love the fact that it's as easy as sending our guests a link, they click on it, and they're connected.
With automatic post-production, secured cloud backup, and automated transcripts, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast. If you want to make remote podcasting easy,
make sure you go to zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code Ruff Talk VR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's zencastr.com/pricing, promo code Ruff Talk VR. It's your time to share your story. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking to you about the sequel to the hit climbing simulator, The Climb 2.
Friggin' fantastic.
Yeah, this one was a recommendation to me from Stratus. He was like, dude, you have to get this.
Well, I bought it as a bundle a long time ago, so I got The Climb and then The Climb 2. So I played The Climb, and then I was all over you to like, dude, you gotta just at least buy the second one, please.
Yeah, at least experience it.
Yeah, this game, I won't even call it a game. It's you hit it best with simulation.
It's a climbing simulator. It's not an action game. It's not a strategy game. It's a climbing simulation.
Yep.
Do you want to know what it's like to be a freaking psychopath and be like a solo climber with no gear, nothing?
Yeah, this game taught me I learned a lot about myself playing this.
What, that you would not be able to do this?
No.
I would die in this situation.
If I was put in any of the situations that I'm in the game, I would curl up in a ball and die.
The first time that there's any piece of rock that I could sit on, I would curl up in there and I would cry and scream, help.
Yeah,
help.
No, I was dude, it's a freaking game, but you are absolutely right. In my head, I'm like, if this was real life, at this point right here, I would just wait here until I saw a helicopter,
somebody else,
a billy goat with packs, somebody that could come get me. Because God help if I couldn't even get down.
No,
you know? But give the rundown real quick.
Okay,
because
okay.
There's a lot to say about this one.
Oh yeah, so this is The Climb 2. It's developed by developer Crytek. It's currently rocking a 4.2 on the official Oculus Quest store with 1,777 ratings and 904 written reviews. As well, it's $29.99 on the official Oculus Quest store. They don't really give it a genre or anything like that. They just say it's a game, probably because it doesn't really fit any of the set genres. So I'll just go with climbing simulator.
Yeah, you say climbing simulator. I'll say you could throw sport in there.
Yeah, because you're going to sweat. You're going to be a little nervous.
Action.
Yeah, sport simulator as well, because you could argue, very much so, rock climbing is a sport.
Oh, definitely it's a sport. These guys have to climb mountains with their fingertips.
Yeah.
You can't just, in the real world, you just can't climb a mountain, whether you're tethered or not. You have to be able to
grip with the smallest bits of your fingers.
Literally, I thought somebody once said to be like a mountain rescue, mountain climber guy, like the people that would come get us if we were ever really mountain climbing. They have to be able to climb, I think, with a finger.
Ridiculous strength. Ridiculous strength.
Yeah.
So there's various levels in this. You have
casual.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the actual landscapes, there's a city, there's something called North, there's Alps, there's Canyon, and there's Bay. And in each one of those, like, you could say areas, there's like at least 3 different levels, an easy, medium, and hard.
Yeah,
So,
the casual is what I'd recommend people play before they, because you're asking to just, oh my god.
yes.
The
So what he's saying is that when you select a level, you get to do if you want to either do casual or pro, which casual is no stamina, no chalk. You can just kind of like climb endlessly like a monkey.
just get used to the fact that, and this is where this experience, I'll say, put me, was the immersion. I wasn't prepared for the amount of immersion that I get playing this game.
I agree with that. My hands sweat balls, dude. I'm like they're dripping just thinking about it.
It's funny you say that, because my calves hurt when I play this game, and my toes hurt, because I couldn't figure out why. And it's like, because I'm putting all my weight, all the gravity I can onto my feet, and I'm curling my toes into my rug. I didn't even know I was doing it, but every time I play it, I'm like, my God, man, my legs are fucking sore.
Yeah, I caught myself being like,
it's because I'm scared to death.
100%. I was playing it for like 5 minutes one time, like the first time I was playing it, and I was like, you know what? It's not really immersing me the most. And
Yeah,
then
I remember.
next thing I noticed, my hands are starting to get sweaty. I look down. I fall once. I see a spot that I'm supposed to jump. I repeat the phrase to myself that I say every time I play this game, which is, no fucking way. You're out of your mind. I'm not doing that.
No, for $30 you can, I mean, unless you're a rock climber, and then it's like maybe you wouldn't even bother with this because you're really doing this.
Well, at least in this they can experience what it's like to fall, because if you're a solo climber and you fall,
dude, I heard you
you're
fall
dead.
the other night. 'Cause, you know, we party chatted. There's no multiplayer in this. The best you can get is really like
racing.
knowing what your friends posted for a score to get to the top of the mountain.
Well, they let you go on to your friend's scores in the leaderboards, and they let you hit race, and then you just try to beat your friend's time. But that's not really like, they don't let you do.
No, you don't see them or nothing.
No, which if you could do a live multiplayer and like actually see the other person, it would definitely add to it.
Let me tell you, the biggest complaint with the first one and second one is multiplayer. People really want, and I kind of get it, because
yeah, if we could climb a mountain together, it would completely change the whole experience.
If you're climbing, but at the same time, it's like just the amount of like the graphics processing, the movement processing. There's just so much going on. Yeah, it's like, because I thought the same thing. I was like, man, you know, why can't they? And then I'm like, oh, I'll tell you why.
Because they're already pushing it to the max.
There's no friggin' room. It's a 4 gig. It's a 4 gig install, so it's not a small little. And I'm telling you, the scenery and the immersion, and I guess, what is it, vertigo, when you feel like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's real for me in this game. I don't get it in any other game. I think the first time we played Pop 1.
Yeah, the first time I ever climbed the tower.
Yeah,
my stomach got a little queasy, and
like,
then
oh shit. But this game, every single time I play it, I get that feeling of, in no way in God's green earth would I ever, under any circumstances, ever do any of these. And they have one where you climb, like I think you mentioned it, the city. You climb a friggin' skyscraper. And it's like a fancy skyscraper. And they got the clouds because you're above them. And they got a helicopter that comes buzzing by you. I'm telling you, sweaty palms, aching calves, aching toes, and just to get to the top of a mountain or a building.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I get to the top, because you get to the top, you have to pull yourself up on a platform. And your guy like lets out a big old scream. I get this like wheezy feeling in my stomach because you get the full 360 view of the mountaintop you're on or whatever. Dude, this thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, and what I'll say is, like, so I experienced that queasy feeling the first time I ever climbed the Pop 1 tower, and then it went away within a week. Now I can fly around, no problem. That game, don't give a shit. That went away, after 1-2 weeks of playing VR. But like you said, every single time you play this, you're still experiencing that. And
yeah, the fear doesn't go away.
Not at all.
And so I'm scared of heights, So I mean I parachuted, but it did nothing for my fear of heights.
Mm-hmm.
But playing this over and over, you think would You know, I mean, if
No, all it does is enhance. All it does is validate my fear of heights to me.
You know, it's funny. If a lot of times I don't even look down.
Yeah.
I just look at the rocks and where I got to place my hands. And, you know, if I hear that weird slappy sound, because I'm not even looking at my hands, I'm just like looking at the rocks because I know if I look down, I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But we skipped around a little bit again. So,
it's all right.
Again, yeah, no, this game it's
we'll
too
cover
good.
it all. It's just going to be in a alphabet soup.
So again, they give you like an easy and a hard mode. Like we're saying, the easy mode, you have no stamina, no chalking. It doesn't really track your time.
Casual climb.
Yep, casual time. You
no
don't
biggie.
You don't race for the leaderboards.
Still die.
Yeah, you can still fall off, but
still die.
Which if you fall off even on the hard modes or anything like that, there's checkpoints and then you go back there. But nonetheless, so the easy mode, no stamina, no chalk, no leaderboards, just go have fun. And then the professional mode, which for me is a lot more immersive. There's chalk, you have stamina, and then obviously there's a race for the leaderboards, but I don't even really bother with that because there's psychopaths who play this game.
Example, it took me 6 minutes to get to the top. The leader did it in 45 seconds.
I don't even see how. That doesn't even make sense to me.
There's shortcuts that can be taken, and they're gracious enough, I'll say, to give you a little, press your button, and it'll show you the route you're supposed to take.
But that is not the fastest route.
Not by any means. It's the longest, most scenic, most painful on the arms. You're going to have your arms raised for 10 minutes every time. You know, and think of that. One time it took me 12 minutes to get to the top of a mountain.
Yeah, especially if you're falling a lot.
I kept taking breaks because I was scared. I'm telling you, I was holding the edge. And the brain was going, no. Oh, shit. You would not do this in real life.
No, but in no way, shape, or form.
And when you chalk, just so everyone knows, you can't just be like, oh, I'll press a button and there's chalk on my hand. No, you have to hold with one hand and then press your grip button with the other hand and shake it. And then chalk will be on that hand and then grip with that hand and then shake the other hand. So you can't chalk two hands at once. And if you hold on only with one hand, your arm naturally loses stamina.
Yep.
And if you hold on with the other hand, your other arm loses stamina. So it's a very careful ballet. But if you have both hands planted on any two structures, you don't lose stamina. It'll gain back up.
Yeah, no. So that just to get you guys, if you guys have never played it, visually when you load in, they have you do a little tutorial. Which thank God, yeah, because
thank God.
If you try to skip that tutorial, you're just asking for a
bad
experience. A whole bunch. So you start. There's your default little climbing platforms, which everywhere that you can climb, it's marked with a marker, like somebody had climbed there before and marked their out. And there's a bunch of different kinds of rocks to grab. There's either like regular ledges. You'll have these ones that
fingertip ones.
Yeah, that you just they do a great job with the animations. You don't have to do anything special or anything different with that. It's just your guy automatically grabs it different. You'll see him like pinching it to get across. It's pretty cool. And then there's other ones that you'll grab, and as soon as you grab it, they crumble away. So you got to grab it, and you got to move fast.
I don't grab those. You know what I do?
Just fly above them. Just monkey fly above them.
They're very generous because they make you. There is a jump button, and it sucks because it's right below the show me which way I'm supposed to go button. So there is a percentage of times you're probably going to mean to hit the where do I go, and you're going to end up jumping off the side of a mountain for no friggin' reason.
Yeah, that's happened to me a bunch.
But that's user error. That has nothing to do with. They just gave you the ability to hit the button.
Yeah. So what you're saying is usually just like jump above those, or
yeah, I'll like do a monkey climb, monkey pull, woof.
Yeah, they are very generous with both jumping high and how far you can leap, like to go from platform to platform.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they have those crumbly ones. They have ones that if you grab, it like.
They have like spikes on
them. And so it's draining your stamina super fast.
Crystal rocks or something.
Those are the ones I completely skip. Screw those.
No, I use those.
My least favorite ones, they have ones that you have to have. There's like crumbly stuff on top of them. I call them the crumblies, and you have to like wipe them.
You have to
wipe them off with your hand, and then you can grab them. And then there's some environments like you'll grab a ladder, and it'll like shift down as you grab it. You'll grab like a metal bar. It'll shift down as you grab it, which I always think like, man,
steel I-beams, ladders, zip lines, rope.
All I can think is like if the ones that like mess up after you grab them, like I'm really fucking this up for the next guy who does this. If it was real life, I'm just getting really immersed in everything.
Well, it made me wonder because I know nothing about real life rock climbing other than pictures I've seen and videos I've seen.
Are there these kind of makeshift ladders to do?
That's what I want to know.
I hope not.
You're out there climbing a mountain and then there's fucking 12-foot aluminum ladder dangling from a rock, and that's what you use to get across? Like, are you kidding me?
Yep. Are you out of your mind? And you get to the other side, and you look, and they have it like drilled into the side, and you're like, I wouldn't trust that with like nature and.
And dude, they have
No.
the people on one of them on the mountainside that are camping on the side of the freaking mountain.
Yeah, you'll see the tents.
That gave me a quoozy feeling.
Yeah, you
I'm
know what
like,
I would not.
no.
I roll in my sleep. I know how I would wake up.
Dead.
I'd be waking up clunk clunk dead.
You wouldn't be waking up.
Snap.
I'm telling you that. You know, the price is a little high.
Yeah,
$29.99. Again, I bought it in a bundle, so I feel like I got a good deal. So I probably did. But if you really want deep immersion into the world of mountain climbing, in a level you never would put yourself through, because if you're like me, you just know you would get 15 feet up and then be like, nope, that's a wrap, or I'm gonna curl up in a little ball and start crying. Until I see emergency rescue and I hope I get a cell signal. I would never do this shit in real life. Never.
No.
But for $30 to feel and still feel it to this day.
Yeah.
From the first time I played it, like even the first one, which we're, admittingly not reviewing, but the same feeling of the immersion was there.
Yeah, and really good graphics for the Quest too. And we reference stamina too. So they show you your stamina on your wrist, on each wrist, so you have a right hand stamina and a left hand stamina.
Yep.
So as you're grabbing it,
God forbid you have one.
Yeah, like you said, if you grab with just one hand, it drains stamina on that hand. But if you grab something with two hands, and you don't even have to grab the same thing with two hands, you just have to be grabbing two
different objects.
Yeah, you have to be grabbing with both hands, and
hold on to it.
Then your stamina will regain. But if you're trying to hang there with one hand, you got about 5 seconds. And
they also give you. And this one's friggin' awesome. If you press the trigger like halfway, it'll be a 2-fingered grip, and it won't use any stamina. I've actually been curious if you can put something around your Oculus trigger so it's always the same.
Oh, to prevent it from doing the full.
Yeah, to keep it in the mode, because it gives you a little bar to see that you pressed too hard, so you're using stamina. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't press hard enough, and
I suck at the 2-finger grip.
I did all right on one of them, and that's what got me thinking,
that's probably
if you can just hold it in the controller like that, you'll never lose stamina ever.
And here's the thing, like you said, to chalk your hand, you press the button and you wiggle your hand and it re-chalks your hand. You don't need to use chalk.
No, they reward you for risking your life even further.
Yeah, you get a stat bonus for using or not a stat bonus, a score bonus for using no chalk.
And the sound effects that go with this game.
Yeah, my favorites.
Pretty intense.
2 favorite sound effects. First, you already referenced it when you get to the top of the mountain.
The big yell the guy does.
You complete the mountain, your guy goes, yeah.
It echoes through the whole. Yeah.
Or I also love the sound effect as you're falling. Your guy's doing the opposite, scream for his death. You know
what I hate?
What?
When you're falling, and I mean the natural reaction when you're falling is to reach out and try to grab, and occasionally you're able to catch a ledge.
Yeah,
but then your hands slip, and then you're falling more, and then your hands slip, and then there was one time I think I caught 3 or 4 different ledges.
But that drains a lot of stamina to catch yourself, so you can't keep doing it.
Well, I died.
Yeah, or if you grab with one hand and you have no stamina, it's just going to drain so fast. And then I was putting it in the
real life perspective, and I'm like, well, I already know I would definitely fall. So boy, would it suck to fall and get 4 glimpses of possible hope. And on the good news, you're actually heading down. So if you did fall 40 feet. Now that's 40 feet more. You don't have to go down, because my ass would never be going up. So whatever the problem is I'd be going down, because one way or another, that's how it's going to end. So this game gives me the liberty of actually being able to go up.
And I don't know if we explained, but so what chalking actually does is it gives your hands more stamina. That's all. When you chalk, you can hold with one hand longer, versus when you have no chalk, your stamina drains much faster. And what I like is if you start climbing with no chalk on your hands start to get bloody, and they're all mangled and
get
stuff.
chewed up.
Yeah, because that's what would happen if you
No,
Tried to climb rocks without chalk like a psychopath. This is Alex Honnold's wet dream right here.
I think they should have a search and rescue button.
Just give up on it. How about that? If you go to quit to the menu, like if you just exit early in
they should have like the little helicopter come and drop the basket down.
You got to climb the ladder to get out.
Bunch of little kids laughing at you climbing the mountain. No, in the mountains you climb, these aren't like, you know, I mean, we're from New England, so we only have legit like one real mountain.
We have hills, technically.
Yeah.
By like,
there's one out in the Berkshires.
Yeah, but for the most part, most things that are called mount are technically like hills because they don't have like enough elevation to be mountains. There was a cute little volcano
at one day, you know. But, you know, these are like Swiss Alp type mountains and cave type mountains and just ridiculously height. Even the city, again, that skyscraper, I've never seen one look like that.
Yeah. I love the visuals in it. You know what's my one complaint?
And the sound effects. Didn't you get bit by a snake?
Yeah, so this is cool. There's a lot of different animals, and most of them, if you go to interact, they do nothing.
Like you'll pet the snake.
I'll usually try to pet the animals, you know? So there's a snake, and he's looking freaking angry.
Is that what you would do in real life?
God, no.
Sitting on the side of a mountain, you go, look at that pretty snake.
Okay, but here's the thing. Very few of your
I had
actions,
tears in my eyes when you
very
told me
few
that.
of your actions in VR are what you would do in real life. So, example, the first time I ever held a gun in VR, I turned it to my head and shot. I would never do that in real life. So, case in point, if I'm climbing a fucking mountain, which I would never be doing in the first place, I would not go to touch a rattlesnake. But since I have the headset on, you know,
why
time
not?
to experience what happens. And you know what? Exactly what would probably happen in real life. Snake bit me, and my screen goes red, and I start free falling. I'm trying to grab, but my...
I had tears in my eyes.
I'm like, ah.
I'm like, what happened? Like, I got bit by a fucking snake.
Like, how'd you get bit?
How'd you get bit by a snake?
I tried to pet it.
I tried to pet the snake. No, there's like hedgehogs and snakes and birds and, like I said, helicopters.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful.
Between the sound effects, the graphics, and the actual gameplay, again, it's one of the larger immersion experiences I've had.
Yeah. Oh,
let alone it actually being a game, because they give you achievements. They give you, I mean, they give you they have like 25 different watches you can get.
Yeah, you have different watches, different gloves, different wristbands, and you unlock those by completing mountains and doing challenges.
Good luck.
Yep.
I got into kind of trying to get, but it doesn't matter. I don't care about my watch when I'm trying to hold on to a little rock with 2 fingers. You know, freaking out.
I did like when I unlocked my first pair of gloves, and I could put gloves on my naked ass hands just because for realism.
Yeah, I got a pair of gloves.
Yeah, you know what?
Different. I think I got like a yellow wristband now or some shit.
I'm a little disappointed, you know, because as you play VR more, you know, I never really had too much nausea problems or anything like that. But definitely when you first start, it's a little bit more immersive than it is now. Correct? Yeah. Example: just climbing the counter,
you get
power
adjusted to it.
Yeah, you know, you get used to it. I'm a little sad that I didn't get to experience this and within like my first couple weeks of VR. I should have bought the Climb one as like one of my first experiences. So I'd recommend this to people, you know, if you just got your headset, you're looking for like a really immersive experience. High. Yeah, this is, or you want to show VR to somebody and be like, you want to feel how immersed you can get. This is a great one for that, to just
This is definitely a grandma needs to try VR.
Yeah. You want to give grandma a heart attack?
No, I think, it'd be a great flex if you want to be like, hey, I got something for you to try. But at the same time, I think you'd scare the shit out of everybody that, if this was my first VR experience,
I'd be sold.
But I might be having that, you know, I spent how many hundreds for this thing? Are they all going to be like this?
Yeah, real?
I'm going to lose a pound of water weight.
Sweating
hands, palms. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I feel like
whole body sweat at one time.
I feel like what really sells people on VR when they're new to it and they're skeptical is immersion. Because like some people, you know, they tried these mobile VRs and they tried these like
no, this is VRs. Immersion.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, VR's not there yet. It's like you try this as one of your first experiences when you're not used to VR yet. How do you leave going VR's not there? You know?
No, they got everything. I mean, look, what it must have taken to, and I'm not a programmer, so I can't. But to like have that scenery, all the interactions that you're allowed to have, and they're all, you know, marked and all the little side shit going on. It's like, come on. It's just a ridiculous amount of I can only just assume programming time.
Yeah, and like you referenced before, processing power too. It's like, no, as much as we want multiplayer, I can understand why.
I just don't know where they would put the squeeze on for it.
I imagine this is already pushing the Oculus to the max.
Because even the hands, you know,
graphics are amazing.
Yeah.
You can't fault them at all on graphics.
Mm-mm.
You know, it was one of my only complaints just because I'm a weirdo. So if you fall from a big distance...
Replay cam to watch you fall?
Well, no, I wasn't actually going to say that. I didn't think of that. That'd be cool, but yeah, they can't do that because you don't... It's probably the same reason that they don't do multiplayer, that you don't have a full body. You only have arms. You don't know what your guy looks like. So, like, you do the replay cam, now they have to have a full body.
400-pound guy.
Same
well,
thing
that
with
explains it.
That's why I'm falling so much.
I get it now.
So you fall from a big distance, you don't hit the ground. It'll just stop your falling like halfway in the air. I want to hit the ground.
You want that? Well, that'll be Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, because like
swan dive off of.
Because like sometimes I'll be like really high up and I'll fall, and then just when my stomach's getting that
you want that final?
It stops, and I'm like, well, you know, if I kept going, that would be scary.
Yeah,
and I want that.
Disagree with you.
I want that.
But again, even to process that in it, it's like I feel like they've put the big squeeze on everything they can. But you figure they're running probably the same exact engine they ran for the first one.
Yep.
They're just making it better and better. So I mean, it just sounds weird. Like in my head just now, I'm like, you're talking about a climbing game, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to sit here.
VR gets you to do shit that you'd never think to. Well, and this is a great example. I mean, how many people really are willing to go risk their lives for fun? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I'm gonna go climb a fucking mountain.
Like a lunatic, dude.
No, it gives me a mad respect, but at the same time, I'm like, are these people all right?
Yeah,
that choose to do this.
And hey,
like,
look,
why?
If you do it with gear is one thing. If you do it with straps and you fall.
No, there's
harnesses,
free climbers.
Yeah, if you're a free climber, what do they call it? Solo climbing or whatever? Free solo? I don't know, but like
that's some next level shit. I don't even think they let you do that because they always have. Well,
Alex Honnold.
No, I guess you are free climbing because the checkpoints have like where you could strap into.
Yeah.
So I guess aside from that, no, you are free climbing or you'd never fall to your death.
Which we, again, just because of the way this game works, it's so easy to start just talking about the immersion, everything like that. So as you're climbing, there'll be like a checkpoint where now if you fall, you revert back to that checkpoint. So it's not like if you fall halfway, you start again at the beginning.
Yeah,
so
that's what threw me. But then I'm like, well,
but then
dumb, you wouldn't die. You'd just be swinging.
Yeah, if you're using harnesses, but if you're somebody who doesn't use harnesses in real life, then you would die if you fall. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, so in 100%, dude, it's crazy. But nonetheless, so you're climbing, you get a checkpoint. Now, if you fall, you go back there, and then beyond those, every mountain has 3 like I don't even know what to call them, major checkpoints, where like you hit it, and then your guy pulls up. And, like, if you're doing the professional mode where it's, tracking your time and everything, when you pull up onto that, it pauses your time, lets you take a break and chill. It's different than the mini checkpoints that if you just fall off.
Yeah, it's a platform.
Yeah. So every mountain has two of those, and then the third one is the end, and it's cool. You grab it, and you actually have to, like, pull yourself up with 2 arms onto the actual platform. So.
There's one you have to pull yourself up too. Or that's just the route I took. I took a shortcut route.
Yeah, that seems to be your new thing, is trying to find the shortcuts.
Yeah, and I'm convinced the only way to do it is to just throw fate to the wind and like be at an area and be like, okay, I'm going to try to go this way, which theoretically is up, and just do a big old swing up and hold your arms out and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Chances are you're going to die. I mean, so far I haven't found but one that substantially cut my time in half, but still 45 seconds.
Well, even on the
3 checkpoints in 45 I spent 45 seconds.
I don't get how.
Dude, I spend 45 seconds sitting on the platform before moving on to the second point. I'm there for a good minute, like, okay, let me
catch my breath.
You know what's crazy? Put a turn on a side fan when you're playing this game.
Oh, just to get the immersion of it?
I was going to say ceiling fan, but I would definitely say there's a ceiling fan warning with this game.
Why? Because with the monkey climbing, when you really throw yourself up and the way you're reaching. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the obstacles you have to, when you play in the harder modes and they make you really jump from like one mountain to another, or you might have to grab a ladder, but to do that, you know, you just can't reach out and grab it. That'd make too much sense. No, you got to like jump 8 feet.
Which again, very generous.
And I put my arms in the air like you know, grab it, and I took a mean shortcut doing that though. When I realized the liberties they let you take with the
there's no way you could launch yourself with one arm like that in real
wouldn't.
life.
Why would you? You're like 3/4 up a 1,000-foot cliff, and you're gonna go, well, this is the point of the mountain climbing where I'm gonna let go of everything and basically jump. Please tell me people don't do that. I don't even want to know people do that.
I don't even want to know that people climb on these makeshift ladders and these metal bars. I just don't want to know that that happens.
No, I think the scariest thing the real actual climbers do is when they climb rocks that are totally upside down.
Yeah.
So they're freaking holding on with their toes and their
and
fingertips.
gravity's completely against them.
Upside down. Yeah, there's only 4 points they're holding on. And they're not even holding on with feet. They're like using it
as like to push off of.
Yeah, I've seen the dudes upside down. Like,
makes me sweat to just think about it, dude. All I'm saying while I'm playing this is out of your
takes a special
mind.
Yeah, takes a special mind to get up on a Saturday morning and go, you know what?
No, I have huge respect for anybody who can
do
it.
Climb 2,000 feet of the most dangerous, slippery, shale-ridden, algae-ridden, moist, rainforesty. You know, it doesn't matter. You throw a mountain at people, they're gonna freaking scale it.
I definitely think it's safe to assume that you have a couple screws loose, but I got some respect for you.
I don't know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
it takes a special. I mean, who? Again, like, how do you even know that that's your thing? You know, like, because there's a lot of people who do climb mountains. You know, like scale. I mean, not talking like, oh, I'm taking the yellow dot trail. You know, I'm talking like, yep, I think I'm gonna go straight up the side of that thing. And somebody has to be the first to do it.
Yeah, that could, especially because a lot of these are marked, I'm pretty sure, in real life. So it's like, how do you,
most of the mountains that are known climbing mountains have the anchor points and all that.
Somebody marked them.
You're not supposed to go up with.
Somebody was the first.
Exactly. If you're the guy who's like marking the new route, you don't have any safety on your hand.
Yeah, that's.
What the frick, dude? You can't get a drone to do it.
Yeah,
send a human being up, and I'm telling you. I think true to real life, this is where I really like about the game. There's some points where it'll make you climb up, but you can only use like the side of a rock, like it's a crack in a rock, but you have to go up, 6 or 7 feet. So you have to grab those, and I've seen the people do that. So
yeah, no, there's definitely a wide variety on the different grips they make. I'm
sweating a little talking about it. Yeah, it's messed up.
Again,
I get
that queasy feeling.
I feel like I've climbed them, like I've done it, but
I would make it 4 feet.
We all really know.
I'd make it 4 feet. No, because here's the thing: I'd get 4 feet up, look up, see how much I have to go, and be like, I'm just gonna jump down now.
Just take a picture. Somebody lay on the ground and take a shot up on me.
I can land 4 feet on my feet, no problem.
This is going on.
If I climb any higher, it's gonna start to get a little rough when I fall.
Nah, my hands are getting a little moist because from all the talking about it. Because again, one of the few experiences I've had that's been truly consistently immersive.
Yeah.
Not just from the get-go out of the box, but I'm telling you, like,
every time you play it, it's not like you're like, all right, I'm used to this now.
Every time I play it, in part of my brain says, okay, hopefully today's the day you don't feel shit. Right? It sounds stupid because the day that happens, I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much.
No, because that's what makes the game special. If you were to play this on a console.
But I want to feel like, okay, so I could climb a mountain if I just did a little bit every day, and then I wouldn't be scared. You're not scared of the first 10 feet, are you? We'll go 10 more. A year later, you go to 20 feet, and so on, and you have no fear. But they did a good job, dude.
Yeah, no, real good job. I like it a lot.
Scaring the shit out of me.
Again, it's just to have as an experience to demonstrate what VR is capable of. Yeah. I think this
and
is
and
the
allowing
one.
You to have an experience that's real to life. Kind of like the fishing. Not everyone can go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only met one person that would be willing to climb a mountain.
I've met nobody, and I think that it's a very small amount of people. A lot of people at least fish.
It's a small club. So,
unless you want to get into the final thoughts, all that fun stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Before you do into that, let me go into my weekly begging.
I thought your dog was dying before.
Yeah, he was like coughing for a second, just hacking up a little hairball.
Podcast Booch had a birthday, by the way. So
yeah, happy 12th birthday to Reggie.
Happy birthday. He's over there wagging his tail.
A couple more years, he can drink. All right, so nonetheless, if you've been enjoying this podcast, be sure to check out our subreddit at r/Ruff Talk VR, or sorry, reddit.com/r/Ruff Talk VR, or if you're international and slashes are a little bit hard, you can just do rufftalkvr.reddit.com. There you can join a community of other Ruff Talk VR fans. As well, you can find a link to join our new and ever-growing Discord server. That's nice and fun to pop into, get a couple waves from us. So, check out those links, join our communities there. As well, in our show notes, you can find our link to support the show either with our Buy Me a Coffee link, where you can donate directly to the show. As well, you can find the link for Kiwi Design, our sponsor, as well as the leader in VR accessories. So if you want to enhance your Oculus Quest experience, definitely check them out. So other than that, let's get into our final thoughts. So 4 categories, starting with gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, and replayability. Starting with gameplay, as well on a scale of 1 to 25, with the total being our final score. On gameplay, I'm going to give them a 20 out of 25, and this is controversial. The only reason I'm flagging them 5 points, because the physics of the game are amazing. Although it's a little unrealistic how far you can throw yourself, who really cares? It's super fun. A bunch of unique climbing spots, a bunch of unique, locations. Gameplay is overall great. The only reason I'm going to flag M5 is because of the no multiplayer. I think that would enhance the gameplay a lot. As well, a lot of games like this, like example, single-player experiences like Beat Saber, they have kind of like a little makeshift campaign that even though it's pretty boring, they make you play every song and every level. And sometimes they add challenges to that. It's pretty simple, but it adds a lot of replayability to a game. It really enhances the experience. It gives people something to do besides just kind of a sandbox feeling. So if they had kind of like a campaign that made you do each level, in whatever order, and, maybe there could be a bonus challenge in each one, do it under time limit in this one, no chalk in this one, whatever the case, no falling in this one. I think that might enhance the experience for somebody a lot. So I know I'm being a little rough because the gameplay is a lot of fun. It's very realistic, but with no actual multiplayer and, again, no campaign or anything like that, I'll flag them 5. So I'll hit 20 for gameplay. Aesthetics, man, I got to give them a 25 there. I can't complain at all about the graphics. They're beautiful. There's no choppiness on them at all. You can tell they're really pushing the Quest to the limit, like Stratus said before too. Even just look at your hands. That's kind of like my usual first check in a game. Like, all right, how do the hands look? You see the nails, you see the wrinkles in the hands. There's really good detail. Aesthetics, I'm going to be simple, give them a 25. Functionality, same thing, 25. I haven't had a single glitch. Everything functions how it's supposed to. The physics are, for the most part, amazing. Besides the leaping yourself like a superhero, but functionality, I'll give them a 25. And now replayability, I'm gonna give them a 15. Kind of for a lot of the same reasons I touched on the gameplay. I think that this is a game that, in my experience, it's great to show people. It's great to introduce yourself to VR. Unfortunately, after you've beaten all the levels once, these leaderboards, for me, I'm like, there's no way I'm climbing them. I'm not even interested in that. I think that there's a certain point that, there's like a total like 15 different levels or something like that. You play through all of them. You might pick it up once a month after that, or use it to show somebody else VR. But, with no campaign, no multiplayer, you do kind of hit a wall, in my opinion. So I'm going to be a little rough and give them 15 on replayability. So 20 on gameplay, 25 on aesthetics, 25 on functionality, and 15 on replayability. I'm going to give them a 75.
It's an 85.
Oh, no, did I do math wrong?
That'd be an 85.
That would be an 85? Oh, no, it finally happened.
Yep.
Yeah, because 25 and 25 is 50.
Yep.
Then plus 20 for gameplay is 70.
Yep.
Then plus 15
Yeah, unless you're
for
giving them a
replayability
5 on replayability.
is 80. Yeah, that's 85. It finally happened. I'm so happy. All right, so I'm giving them an 85. Look at that.
What's funny is, all right,
Because we talk about it every week that it's going to happen.
is someday it would happen.
Yeah,
So
well,
there you go. It happened.
Yeah. It's because this is the first time I didn't double check. I just went quick and boom, just added up real quick.
There you go.
Ooh, I'm so happy.
On the spot math feeling.
Yep.
Scares me with the educational system, I suppose.
No, it would even be better when next episode you do the same thing.
I actually...
Now you're double checking it.
Yeah, I double checked, just to make sure.
Yeah, I double check every week. I just didn't double check this week, and boom, look what happens.
Could have edited it, but we're not really like that. So.
No, I like the organic part of it.
Yeah, what happens, happens. All right, so gameplay, I gave him a 25. I'm going to disagree with you a little. I gigged them for the same thing, but not in an area. They're not a multiplayer game. So I can't say their gameplay suffers because they don't have multiplayer when it's not like they have multiplayer and it just doesn't work good, But the closest they do have is those stupid time trials you could do. But I don't really care how fast you get to it. I just want to get to it myself. So, but I don't disagree with the multiplayer. I just don't think power-wise it can be done, processing-wise.
No, but as well, I flagged the 5 because of the no campaign as well. It's just kind of load in, do a map, and call it a day.
Yep, no, I got you. But I did give him a 25. I mean, this thing is blowing my freaking mind. Aesthetics, 25. Graphics, sound, attention to detail on everything. I think they really nailed it. It'd be crazy to see what they could do if, this was 5 years down the road and headsets are going to be, the size of a postage stamp, just pumping out power. Because they really, I think the combination of the graphics with the sound and all the background elements really help pull that immersion feeling in for this. And it is a flex. That's why I won't disagree at all that it's like the perfect one to you really want to see what VR can do, aside from shooting guns and killing zombies and shit. Check this out. Functionality, I give them a 20. I actually don't give them the 25 because everything seems pretty freaking real to me until I throw myself off the side of a mountain to catch another thing on the other side of the mountain, and it's just too flowy. The gravity seems too forgiving in your favor when you do a monkey climb up, and that's the only thing I can think in the whole freaking game that I would gig them on as far as any functionality issues. It's you have this 90% simulation of realism going on, and then there's this 10% of your brain even says, well, that wouldn't happen. You would never make it that far. You would die. And your brain's not stupid, because the half the time when I'm climbing, I'm and we're even saying it oh my god, dude, we'd be dead. We'd be curled up in a ball screaming and crying and waiting for search and rescue to come. But that's the only thing that kind of breaks the immersion is it feels too I'm trying to think of the word, but arcadey flow. It's not simulation flow.
Yeah, at that one moment, the whole game's a simulation, and then that one gameplay aspect
just
is arcadey.
Yeah, it's just and I get why they did it, or else you'd never make it to certain things that they put there, but it just seems if the gravity...
just design it differently,
Yeah, or add a little more gravity to when you're in the air. But they do a good job of your arms will be sore, and partly because you're holding them up so much climbing. But it adds to the immersion when you have sore shoulders after playing a game, for sure, as well as calves and toes, and you're covered in sweat and parts of your body all over the place. Replayability is where I heard them the most. Yeah, they give you a shit ton of watches and gloves and wristbands. They don't give you jetpacks or anything like that, and even if they did, I don't think it would change my willingness to just want to go back every single week and go, oh, it's climbing Tuesday. I'm going climbing today. It's like you reach a point where you have climbed everything. Even, I mean, the professional modes, the hardest mode they have, damn. I mean, but it's doable. So eventually you're going to lose that interest in not so much the feeling of the immersion. Because I'll be honest, one of my favorite things to do is go to the city one, and you almost don't even have to climb. Just stand on that freaking platform. It's like walk the plank game, really, without the plank. And you're like, damn, just you don't even have to climb. Just look around, and you'll be like, okay, I got my fix of feeling sick to my stomach or whatever that feeling is. So I give them a 15. They get an 85. Same exact score of yours, just different breakup of why and where.
Yeah, we had very similar complaints too, just about you know.
I wish they had
the monkey flinging. I didn't nail on points on that, but it was definitely a noticeable talking point of mine.
The only thing that to me breaks the immersion.
Well, and again, if
I mean, and one could argue, okay, the woodchucks look a little.
Yeah, I like the animals and stuff. I like the.
There's no way it would be standing there at the edge, you know, watching you, you know, shimmy by and you, hey, Mr. Woodchuck.
I like the animals though, but
what if they had like aggressive alpha,
more animals to dodge,
like bears, cougars?
Why would a cougar be climbing a mountain?
Why not? How do rattlesnake? How does a rattlesnake get to the top of a mountain?
Hey, you know what? Snakes are nuts. I
you
don't
can
know.
tell me a rattlesnake.
I'm not an expert in these things.
So if how's he get down?
Slither.
He's gonna know all the. You know what I'm saying? But I bet you there are rattlesnakes on mountains, and it makes you wonder, like, how the hell these rattlesnakes?
I'm not sitting here confidently saying there's not. You know, I'm pretty confident I won't see a bear scaling the same mountain that I'm.
You ever seen goats climb? Goats will climb mountains. Ridiculous, like ones that you and I would never touch. A goat, dude, 4-legged, furry.
How about that for DLC? You're a goat.
That's interesting because it changes the landscape.
You know, you do a big the
no,
leap.
Don't underestimate those goats. A goat will outclimb me all day, every day. I admit it.
But you get what I mean about a campaign too. Something to actually incentivize
I
you
wish,
to do every
and that's
mission.
That's where the replayability, I think, hurts them the most for me, because I absolutely love the game.
And I do understand.
And I don't even want to call it a game. I love the simulation. I love the feeling I get off it.
Yeah, it's definitely a simulation.
I love the anxiety I feel just talking about it. Because my brain's like picturing me doing things. And again, your brain's not stupid. If you're not, especially if you're, I think the more scared of heights you are, the better this game probably really is. Because there's no way anybody who's remotely scared of heights would be like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
800 feet vertical.
Yeah, that's probably one of my biggest fears is heights. So it's like, you know, this one really gets me.
It's not the heights that scare me. It's the falling to my death because of them. You get, no parachute, nothing.
I'll be honest with you, height doesn't scare me. The ground scares me.
Yeah. It's the sudden stop from falling that.
Gravity scares me.
Yeah, nah, dude, for real, I'm sweating. Yeah, just thinking about this.
I was really conflicted on my final scores too, like going 20 for gameplay, how much I was going to nail them on replayability. I kind of kept
everybody wants multiplayer though.
Yeah, I kept playing with. That's why I messed up my final score, because I kept kind of changing it until.
And the consensus seems
pretty much
to
until
be
we met up this morning.
People want it in a sense where they can climb with their buddy. So it's like you could be climbing and be like,
yeah, hey, I fully get why they can't do like a public server with 20 people on it, like, or 50 people.
Private server.
Yeah, just, you know, if you can just do the same amount of people you can have in the party, you know, just like a party of 3 to 8, something like that.
What if they had like a sandbox climbing mode? Be pretty crazy. Scale mountains all over the world. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to come out with a third one.
Yeah, you got to assume. Imagine if they do a third one and they still don't have multiplayer.
You know what? People will still buy it.
No doubt.
People will be angry, but they'll, you know, even some of the negative reviews, like vocally, and this is what you gotta love, is like, I wish I had multiplayer, but I'm still giving you a 5-star.
Yeah, and I still played it for a bunch of, you know.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, not everybody loves it. 4.2.
No, hey, it's a climbing simulator, so let's be real. If you buy this game, and you're upset that you're not skiing. Just leave. It's a climb. It's everything about it. It's called The Climb.
Where's my gun?
Yeah, why am I not shooting things? It's called The Climb. No, everything in the description is about climbing.
But it is a good flex.
Yeah,
so you want to show off to people and convince them one of the reasons they should get an Oculus.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing.
Scare the shit out of
you have
everybody.
some people over there. So, you have the one guy like, no, VR's not there. It's not really immersive. The Oculus, I've heard it's just mobile game. You go, all right, go climb this mountain, bitch. And watch them fucking start to sweat and be like, all right. All of a sudden, you'll be seeing them, playing an Oculus on your friends list in a week.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect one to get anybody who's talk shit or.
Yeah, doesn't think it's there, because that's the common misconception. People who don't use the Oculus, like, they just refuse to try it because, they know VR is not there. That's what they all say. VR is not there. Which, people like me and you, we know VR is there. We know the Oculus is there.
No, and some of it I get. It's cartoony or they tried some old school shit, but this is like...
They put a headset on in like 2004.
There's a handful of experiences right now that are pretty true to life. Obviously everything's got its minor flaws, but fishing's pretty damn good.
Hey,
golfing's good, and rock climbing's good, and playing table tennis is funny the amount of real life activities that people wouldn't do in real life, but they're willing to do in VR.
Yeah.
So you got to give credit.
Yeah, but
this one's kind of athletic-y, so
I would challenge anybody to have this as their first VR experience, and then shake my hand after with dry hands. You're not.
Unless you're a mountain climber.
Unless you're just a psychopath.
If you're a rock climber, then you're going to be like,
this is underwhelming.
Dude, I consulted in this game.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't feel none of that. But I'd be scared to know that they do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, dude, my hands sweat every time I go out there and climb a 1,000-foot mountain. Be like, then why do you do it? That's who you got to talk to.
That's a good conversation. But nonetheless, all
right.
I guess
I
you guys.
digress.
Yeah, we'll sit here for 2 hours talking about how much our sweat, our palms are sweating and our toes are gripping the ground and we're pushing on the earth and legs are cramping up. So overall, guys, I hope you enjoy this episode. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen on, and stay tuned for next week.
Have a good week.
Podcasting remotely can be a challenge. And when we first began interviewing developers, we ran into every headache imaginable.
From connection issues to video lag to sound quality performance, we knew there had to be a better platform we could use.
That's where Zencastr came in, allowing us to easily connect with guests all over the world. Zencastr is simple to use with no download needed. With studio quality sound, HD video recording, automatic post-production, automatic transcripts, and a cloud backup, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast.
If you'd like to have the same easy experience that we did for all your podcasting and content needs, then make sure to go check out zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code Ruff Talk VR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's zencastr.com/pricing, promo code Ruff Talk VR. Zencastr, making remote podcasting easy. Hey guys, Dscruffles here. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And definitely don't forget to check out our official subreddit and join us there at r/RuffTalkVR. There you can join a community of other podcast fans, join us for some podcast meetup games, get first scoop on new episodes, interact with us a little bit directly, and more. As well, be sure to check out our official podcast supporter link, the Buy Me a Coffee link you can find right in our show notes, where you can donate to the podcast either one time, multiple times, become a monthly supporter. That way you can help us on our journey to make podcasting a full-time gig so we can continue to bring you more great podcasting content. As well, be sure to visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes as well, where you can go and shop for different Oculus Quest 2 VR accessories, whether it's knuckle straps, lens protectors, face shields, whatever. Kiwi has you covered. So again, visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes, help support the podcast, and pick yourself up some sweet Oculus Quest 2 gear.